Hi, I'm Rachel and this is Filmdation. For our first episode, we're going to do an Oscars special. So I've got joining me today actor, presenter and voiceover artist Joel Phillips.
Hey.
Hi Joel.
Hi.
And I've also got freelance music journalist Natalie and Matt. Hey Nat. So let's kick off with Best Supporting Actress in Oscars style. We've got a bit of an Oscars classic again, Meryl Streep, 19th time nominated.
19 times.
19, yeah.
Amazing.
She's doing
Every
well.
time she breathes, she gets an
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
much.
She's good at anything. Right?
So she's up for Into the Woods. So I gotta say though, I didn't love the film. And I'm not a musical phobe like you, Nat.
No.
You don't like musicals?
I hate musicals. I have
Not a fan.
musical issues.
Musical issues.
Musically challenged.
Yeah.
But I'm not opposed to musicals, but I just don't think this one worked. It's like they tried to kind of half go down the Frozen direction with a bit of a, feminist, modern kind of look in the fairy tale, but then they were also trying to throw back to the grim kind of grisly fairy tale thing. But they kind of half did both. It didn't really work. I just thought it was really boring. Yeah. But we had some other good nominees in the category. Nat, do you want to talk us through those?
Yeah, sure. So the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Meryl Streep for Into the Woods, Laura Dern for Wild, Keira Knightley for The Imitation Game, Patricia Arquette for Boyhood, and Emma Stone for Birdman.
What did you guys think of Keira Knightley in The Imitation Game?
Yeah, I thought because I don't know why, but I'm not usually a fan of Keira Knightley.
Me either.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to her or anything, but
yeah.
for some reason, just the films that she's in, I'm like, you know, nothing. It doesn't ever seem like anything special. But she sort of surprised me in this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe it was just how she played it, or just how she is really fits with that sort of period and that story. I don't know, but I think this is probably a deserved nomination.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it too, but I don't know. I don't know if it was Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
What about Emma Stone? Nat, what did you think of her in Birdman?
I thought she did really well. I mean, with Birdman, it was quite a small cast, and I felt like they were quite evenly weighted in terms of screen time and also the role itself, like in the film. So it's, I guess it would have been difficult to choose just one because there were four fairly significant female leads.
It's true, yeah.
But her performance was really good, and
it was an unflattering role, wasn't it? And the Oscars love the unflattering.
Yeah, they love the unflattering. And there was those long takes. There was it was interesting because that film is so good because it's like these long scenes and you're not hiding behind editing at all. So it is like you can really judge that film on how the performance, like how strong the performances were. I thought she was amazing.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. That's good. Yeah. Well, how do you guys call this one? Who do you think's got it?
Well, admittedly, I haven't seen all of the films.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick just from what I've seen, I'd probably go Emma Stone for Birdman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I did really enjoy Emma's performance as well. Patricia Arquette did quite an amazing job in Boyhood, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, her performance was amazing, but it was also an amazing concept.
How do you separate that?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think her nomination is well deserved as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe Patricia.
Yeah, she's quite amazing, wasn't she? Like, I'm not a fan of her TV show, and I haven't seen her in much else. And I saw her in this, and I just thought she was really beautiful. I thought she did really well, and I think it's a shame that she's been doing this work for 12 years and no one has seen
it.
Yeah,
I know. Finally. Yeah.
And the way the story was, like, she was a supporting role within the story as well, but I feel like she was a really significant part of the story.
She was.
And also not even just in her presence, but in her absences as well. And so I think that was quite an interesting performance as well.
It's true, yeah. Well,
you get the glimpses.
Well, I haven't caught Boyhood yet, but as soon as I see it, I'm going to swing that way. Sold it to me. Sold it to me, yeah.
Alright, cool. Okay, well, moving on to a different space. Joel, you're into the blockbusters, into the superheroes.
Massive comic superhero guy fan, absolutely.
Can you talk us through the nominees for the best visual effects?
Absolutely. Okay, so best visual effects, we've got Interstellar, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, X-Men: Days of Future Past, and of course Guardians of the Galaxy.
You like Guardians?
I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean that whole handful of films they're just fun. It was so fun, and obviously like the effects are a huge part of making them so fun.
Yes.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy was probably like probably my favourite of the pick in terms of its entertainment value. Like it's just so fun. Like everything that was about that film, like the music, everything about it was just so fun.
Yeah.
And if I'm, effects wise, I think they really look like they had fun with what they were doing, like
making the universes.
So what? I mean, I'm trying to remember the effects. There was the tree and the raccoon were kind of the main.
Totally, and that's like such a huge thing to put like real life actors alongside. Like usually you can sort of see the difference, but I think like there was.
Vin Diesel as a tree.
Vin Diesel as a tree.
Yeah.
And I think he's almost like the favourite.
Oh, I know,
he's almost
the
like the favourite character
tree
of the whole film. Like you talk to anyone and they're like, So like that's got to be good effects to be able to,
it's true. And like I guess not noticing them isn't necessarily bad because it's so well integrated and
exactly.
Yeah.
Although in saying that though, Interstellar was just so stunning, and I like you hear the stories about how much research went into what actually scientifically that would look like, the bending of space and all that sort of like, so behind the scenes there was so much detail put into the effects of Interstellar, and that was just sort of a league of its own.
Nolan is into his details.
Nolan is into his details.
Yeah. Well, how do you guys pick this category then?
I'm gonna go with Guardians because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I had fun. I don't even usually like comic book movies, but I really liked that one.
Yeah, it was really entertaining. I think I'm a mix between like, Guardians of the Galaxy and Interstellar because both are very different.
Yes.
Probably more Guardians of the Galaxy because obviously to carry a character like that's solely CGI, or two of them, solely CGI, that's really well executed. So Guardians of the Galaxy for me.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna break away and disagree with you guys. I'm gonna go with Interstellar. I think just that wave planet and the black hole. It was so incredible and so well done. I think I reckon that might grab the award as well because it was kind of snubbed for
totally
anything dramatic.
For everything.
Yes.
Nothing. It's like no other snub. It's how funny is the word snub? It's like a snub is a film that can get no love from the Academy.
True.
Brilliant song.
Yeah, classic.
Applicable.
Cool.
Yes. But yeah, it was a bit of a snub. There was a few others as well, like Nightcrawler, Jake
Gyllenhaal? Gyllenhaal?
No one knows.
No one knows. Let's just go with Jake.
Offended.
Jake. I like. He was amazing.
That's probably why they didn't nominate him. No one knows how to say his name.
They want a repeat of John
Travolta.
Oh man.
Adele.
Poor Jake.
No, he was amazing though in that film.
So creepy.
When a character can get really under your skin, that's like he's done well because he was just like, in my opinion, I came out of that film and I was like, oh, he was like a human weasel. He was like a weasel.
He was a horrible person.
He was a horrible
but
weasel
like really
man.
weirdly principled. It was strange.
Yeah.
But and it's interesting because he really he did the physical transformation. It was an unflattering role. Normally the Academy is lapping that up, but they really, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. What else? I mean, I know a lot of people are upset with the foreign films category. Force Majeure missed out. Winter Sleep missed out. And then we had a few other snubs as well. Selma, I heard said that this was the whitest Aussies ever.
Oscars,
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, because Selma, it did get nominated for Best Picture, but then it obviously, they didn't think it excelled in any way other than that.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like the same thing, we had that last year.
Yeah.
on
it's
trend, funny. I don't know. We had space last year, so this year no space.
Yeah, it's a bit political.
But I mean, I tell you what wasn't last year, Lego. And so I feel like
there was no Lego last year.
Snubs reported a Lego film, which is just so fun. It's such a fun.
It was
great.
Well done on a lot of levels.
On every level.
Why do you think that was snubbed?
Well, they used real Lego for heaps of the actual scene construction, and then just like
I can't believe that.
They did,
really?
yeah, and then they just filled in the rest digitally, like when
So
they had
clever.
to actually, but like the Lego flying through the air is actual Lego.
Actually Lego.
Yeah.
It took like 8 years or something. I heard.
Yeah.
It's just sort of
like a boyhood.
boyhood all over again in a different way. But I was thinking about this. I think maybe it got
Lego,
snubbed though because of the branded content sort of vibe. Like it's actually a brand. So like it'd be weird if the Academy to endorse like a branded film to be Oscar worthy.
But they could have built Lego Oscars.
I know, hey, that would be amazing. Lego Oscars.
Opportunity.
Build your own Oscar.
Totally. All the kids building little Lego
Like to thank the
Oscars.
Academy.
Yeah, it'd be the new Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely an opportunity missed. But so Lego missed out on Best Animated Feature.
Yeah.
What did get nominated, Joel?
Right, so our nominations for the Best Animated Feature are Big Hero 6, The Box Trolls, The Tale of Princess Kaguya, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and Song of the Sea. So what did you guys think?
I don't think How to Train Your Dragon 2... I don't think it should be nominated. I love the first one. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
But second
Dragons,
one, the sequel, you know.
They didn't even creatively name it.
No, they didn't.
Literally
They
put it
failed
to
on
at the
that
end.
level.
Exactly the same name, too. Yeah.
Again.
It should be fully trained dragon.
Yeah.
Like
He still doesn't know how to train his dragon.
He's actually finished training the dragon.
Yeah,
it should
it's
be
true.
now fully equipped dragon. The movie, like
That would have been better.
Yeah.
I think that's going to let it down. So I don't think that one's
saw
gonna
Big Hero 6.
You did? Yeah.
It was a really cute movie. It was sad though, like very sad.
Very sad.
And quite like emotionally intense, like the backstory and then even in the film, like so not for little kids maybe thematically, but the Big Hero was quite funny and there was a lot of cool effects and it looked amazing.
So is that your pick?
Great.
That's my pick,
Yeah, what are you...
Big Hero 6?
Big Hero 6.
Yeah, I was going to say Big Hero 6 as well.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, the Princess Kaguya maybe because it's, I think, the studio's last film, but I think I'm guessing Big Hero 6 as well. Well, let's move on to editing. Nat, who have we got in the editing category?
So for Best Film Editing, we have The Imitation Game, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, American Sniper, and Whiplash.
Yeah, I think the Imitation Game the editing didn't stand out to me. And
Yeah,
you guys
it sort of lacked a bit of pace, I think.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. It dragged a bit, even though it wasn't super long.
No,
I think American Sniper is probably the sort of film that lends itself to showcasing the editing. You can see why that was nominated. Boyhood, I mean, that's a whole new game for an editor there.
No, it happened in the order already. What's left to do?
It's already use the footage, like the footage stops from that year. And
that's the end. Next.
Next scene, what have we got?
That won't win. But Grand Budapest was we had some good editing. I thought, as usual for Wes Anderson's films.
Yeah, it was lots of fun.
Yeah, it was a fun film, but it had a bit of depth to it. Yeah,
I think it's one of my favourite Wes films because it just had a little bit more going on. It wasn't just twee. It had the magical kind of elements, and then it was sort of grounded in a harsher reality, and that was the wider context, which was a nice change. And an unfamiliar face as a protagonist was also cool because you still had all your Wes stalwarts in, but they were in quite fun cameos, and I think that worked really well. Yeah,
it did. It all came together really nicely. It wasn't really a really complete film, wasn't it? I feel like it was a return to his best kind of work. Yeah. And also branching out into a few new areas for him as well. But yeah, I think that's a strong contender. And then Whiplash too, which Nat and I caught together. That is such an interesting film because, like, to me, it reminded me of a film I saw a while ago, A Separation. Not that they, like, seem similar at all, but it's like they take this dramatic plot and this dramatic content and then use thriller film devices.
Yeah, wow.
The withholding of the information, the tension. Yeah. And it's just so effective and so innovative.
Never been so stressed about jazz.
I know!
About jazz.
Yeah.
Stressed about jazz. Not that to calm you down, but...
Yeah, not this one. Yeah, it's like hard to watch at moments. But yeah, I think that reminded me of that film because it did that really well.
The editing had that kind of tempo as well. Yes. The tempo of the music was sort of reflected in the actual visual cuts, which is a really interesting thing
quite a subtle way. It wasn't like overt. It did that really well. Yeah, I think. Who are you guys going with for editing?
Well, maybe the Grand Budapest, I think.
Yeah,
that was really. I really enjoyed it, but I'm going with Whiplash.
Whiplash. Yeah, I'm going to go with Whiplash as well. There's some strong contenders, but I'm going to say Whiplash for editing. And Whiplash, J.K. Simmons is up for Best Supporting Actor there. Who else have we got there, Joel?
Robert Duvall in The Judge, Ethan Hawke in Boyhood, Edward Norton in Birdman, Mark Ruffalo in Foxcatcher, and J.K. Simmons in Whiplash.
Well, Ethan Hawke was incredible in Boyhood, I thought. And I didn't know whether I was going to like it going in. I thought, yes, it's an interesting idea, but is it going to add anything, having people actually age? And I went into the first scene, and the first scene for me felt a little bit stiff. I was kind of like, but in the second scene, Ethan Hawke comes on screen, and I was totally captivated. I just thought he was so good. And I don't actually know how much of the dialogue was ad-libbed, but either way, like, it just comes from him so
really natural.
Yeah. And so convincing.
Is very good at the natural dialogue.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, and even like the whole cast, but like the commitment as an actor to like, I'm going to sign on for this film for
12 years. It's like crazy.
So
watching yourself age on screen, I wouldn't do it. Like gaining weight and whatever. No, but I thought Ethan Hawke, all the cast, as you say, were really good. The script was really good. And the thing that stood out about that film to me as well was what they chose to show. Like, I think if I was approaching a project like that, I'd find it really hard to know which scenes, which moments do you show. They just picked them so well. And the use of music and, I don't know, I just thought all up it was really great. But this is a tough category, isn't it? Like, there's huge talent
great performances,
here. I was stoked that J.K. Simmons was nominated. I think it was some brave casting.
I thought he was fantastic. Oh, he was. The interplay between the two leads, their chemistry on screen was
and that's the mark of a great actor, isn't it? Like, they stand out on their own, but they also play off each other and bring the best out in each other. And actually, going back to snubs, I never thought I'd say this, but Channing Tatum. I thought he...
Sneaky Channing. He should totally.
The three of them. So Mark Ruffalo was really good, and of course Steve Carell. But I think in this category, I am going to say Ethan Hawke. I think.
I'm going J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Amazing. Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
I think Ethan will take it.
You're going Ethan?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to screenplay then. Nat, what have we got in the two screenplay categories?
So the nominees for Best Original Screenplay are Boyhood, Birdman, Foxcatcher, The Grand Budapest, Nightcrawler. And then for Best Adapted Screenplay, we've got Imitation Game, American Sniper, Inherent Vice, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash.
So The Imitation Game is nominated. What did you guys think?
Well, I mean, given I was probably a bit tired when I saw this film, so that probably didn't help things. Made it feel like it was dragging a bit when it probably wasn't. But
maybe the Academy voters were more awake.
Maybe they just were watching at 10 a.m. with some coffee.
Maybe it was just more their vibe. I don't know. I think there was a lot of other nominees that were much more deserved.
I think the thing that it has going for it is the era. Like, it's just a fun era to go back to, and it's... I've played video games in that era, and it just reminded me of playing those.
You played them in the 50s?
Well,
40s,
you
whatever.
Good.
30s.
Yeah, it's interesting because it did have a bit of that video gamey vibe, which I wasn't expecting. Like, it almost reminded me of Hugo, that kind of aesthetic, which, I wasn't expecting. But yeah, that was an interesting point. I think what was really interesting for me was, I guess it was sort of showing it from Turing's perspective, the lead character, because it tread quite lightly with World War II. Like, he didn't get a lot of those horrors, but then it was really heavy in his own story and what went on there. So, and I guess that's because it was kind of from his perspective. Like, he was really involved in the war, but he wasn't like seeing the atrocities firsthand. So I thought, like, on that level with those two things, it was interesting. But then, I was surprised to see it nominated for so many things. I didn't think it was a standout.
No.
Who are you guys picking for the 2 screenplay?
I'd probably go Birdman for original screenplay, and for adapted, I think Whiplash is going to take it.
Yeah.
Original. I mean, I did really enjoy Boyhood as a film, but in terms of screenplay, the Birdman screenplay was amazing. So I'm going with that. And then for adapted, Whiplash. Yeah.
Well, I'm with you guys. Same.
We're all
No way,
but
really?
Yeah. I
well
think
deserved.
so. There's great competition, but I think those 2 are probably the front runners.
Yeah.
And what about cinematography? Joel, who have we got?
We have The Grand Budapest Hotel, Ida, Mr. Turner, Birdman, and Unbroken.
So, Birdman, the cinematography, before I saw it, I heard, it's all about the long shots. And I sort of thought of Gravity and was like, it really worked in Gravity, but is this becoming a bit of a gimmick? Like, is it kind of for the sake of it? Like, yes, it's clever, but does it add anything? But then when I saw it, the cinematography, I think, just added so much. Those long shots just gave you such a sense of the space and the confinement. And it's like, I know this sounds really wanky, but it's like, the space was like a character in the film. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like an adrenaline shot, like seeing that you were sort of with the character that you were in the frame with, because it was shot so kind of close, and at times it was manic, and then at other times it was really contemplative, and like that was quite good. Like, you sort of, it was breathing. The film was like a living thing.
Totally. It felt really immersive like that for me, and it felt like a living thing, because like I think about it now, and it feels like I dreamt it. And I was thinking, I think that's what, like, if I have a dream and wake up in the morning, I'm like, I think that's what it feels like. There's no cuts or anything. Like, it's just this continual experience. And so you finish and you're like, wow.
And people kind of come in and then they go out, and you're still there. Like, it was really effective as a device.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of coming past you, but you're still with them, with their experience. And I think it'd be interesting to know why Mr. Turner has been nominated, because I wouldn't have thought of that film. I thought, cinematography. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I do think Birdman's got this one.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Birdman.
Yeah.
It was just too good. And like, it's not only it's a great tool to use, but it's just like, you can see how much time and intention there is in like actually deciding to do that.
Yes.
Like, Unbroken wasn't nominated for anything else.
That's true.
I think that Birdman's untouchable in this one.
Yeah, we're all going Birdman.
Birdman.
Now, actress.
Ooh, okay.
Who have we got in the actresses, Nat?
So the nominees for Best Actress are Marion Cotillard for 2 Days, One Night, Felicity Jones, The Theory of Everything, Julianne Moore for Still Alice, Rosamund Pike for Gone Girl, and Reese Witherspoon for Wild.
Well, surely Rosamund's going to take it out.
No.
Don't you think?
It's time for Julianne Moore.
It's time for, Well, that's probably how it works, isn't it?
I think at the Oscars it often is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, it's hard to make a call because I haven't seen Still Alice, but from the shorts and from her history, I think she's outstanding.
Yeah, she's so magnetic. And
she is so natural.
Yeah, she just embodies her characters just in a really natural way, and it doesn't feel like acting. I think sometimes with Reese Witherspoon, for me, it still feels like she's Reese Witherspoon, whereas with Julianne, I think she is able to kind of go deep with the character in the same way as Marion Cotillard. Like, she's an amazing actress as well.
Good. And Gone Girl, the film, it missed out on much else, really.
I'm not sorry.
You're not sorry.
I don't think I ever want to see it again. Just a really visceral film, and I find with Fincher, it's just like, why are you showing me this? Like, why am I here?
Okay.
So her performance was quite nuanced, and there was, like, the character at first appears to not have a lot of depth, and she had to kind of build that from nothing, which was quite effective. But go Julianne.
I'd like to see more from Rosamund Pike, but I'm going to go with Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
I'm probably going to say it's her time.
It's her time.
She's earned it.
It's time for Julianne.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the Best Actor. Joel, who have we got?
Brilliant. Michael Keaton for Birdman, Eddie Redmayne for The Theory of Everything, Benedict Cumberbatch for The Imitation Game, Bradley Cooper for American Sniper, and Steve Carell for Foxcatcher.
I think this year the Best Actor award is pretty impressive. Like, each one of them could win.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They were really good. But I mean, for me, Foxcatcher, I know you guys haven't caught that one yet, but I can't recommend it highly enough. It's just, to me, a near perfect film. It's so, it's real gritty realism. So it's like, sometimes it's dull and it's boring, but you're kind of experiencing it with the characters. I thought all the performances were outstanding. And just everything communicates so much. Everything speaks. Like the way Steve Carell wears his shorts, like, it's true. And it's not pretty.
An Oscar just for short wear.
The shorts, yeah. We've come up with a few new categories now. But I don't know. I thought it was an outstanding film and a really unique film.
I think even in the trailer, like, they saved showing you Steve Carell until like just before the end or something, pretty much. And the camera like reveals him and you're like, oh wow, oh whoa, is that him? Like, and he just breathes something weird.
He's going like the Nicole Kidman route with the nose.
Well, that's the thing, and there's controversy over that. And in her case, I think the nose did do a bit of the acting. As lovely as she is. But
it got the Oscar that year, I think.
The nose.
It did.
The nose. Nicole Kidman.
But I think, and I think there's been a little bit of controversy ever since. Like, when someone is wearing a lot of makeup, it's like, do they deserve it? I think Steve Carell would be deserving, but for me, like, going into Birdman, I actually said out loud, I think Michael Keaton's going to be good, but I think this is going to be convenient for him. I think it's going to be written for him, the whole Birdman, Batman. But then when I went and saw it, you didn't know.
What do you mean?
He played Batman.
We'll talk about that later. But when I saw it, I was like, no, he's so good. Like, it's beyond the convenience of the role. He's amazing. And
totally. I'm a broken record. Birdman, or like anything it's nominated for, just give it to Birdman. Especially Michael Keaton. And I think it's like this. It's like art imitating life. It's like that sort of...
Done really well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're going to give it to Benedict Cumberbatch because no one's going to be able to say his name right.
Adele Machine.
They won't be John Travolta.
And I mean, Eddie Redmayne, I can't forget seeing the image of him with the guy liner in the trailer for the Jupiter Ascending. He's out as well.
Purely based on
Bradley Cooper looks a little bit like an emu full of straight arms. And I mean, Steve Carell, I love him. Like, he's very funny.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think, like, Michael Keaton didn't need a nose, so he's my pick as well.
He's there.
Fact,
He used his own nose, and then his nose deserves an Oscar. Genuinely, it did a lot.
All right, it's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton,
easy.
All right, now we're into the real big awards. Best Director.
Okay.
So for Best Director, we have Richard Linklater for Boyhood, Morton Tilden for The Imitation Game. We've got Bennett Miller for Foxcatcher, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu for Birdman, and Wes Anderson for The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Well, I mean, I thought Wes Anderson did a great job with The Grand Budapest Hotel. We've said, like, return to form, that kind of thing, but I just thought it was a great film, really well directed. And then I also obviously thought Boyhood was amazing, and even beyond the concept, like the execution, as you were saying, was incredible. And I mean, Birdman was a triumph or whatever. Like, it looked amazing, and you need someone who's got like a wild vision to pull that off, but he did it in a way that had the technical expertise to back it up and the vision, as well as pulling all the elements together, like casting and how it looked. So I mean, those would be my 3 picks, and I got to try and figure.
Got to give us one, no?
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
tough.
Birdman is the whole package, which is really cool. But then Boyhood had like the direction of actors, but then the whole idea.
I know, and I think I've always admired Richard Linklater since like I saw this film called Waking Life that he did, and it was just this incredible. It's like this dreamlike film, and they filmed it, and rotoscoped over the top of it, so it looked like an animated film. Really different, but it just shows that he's just not like a run of the mill director. Like, he's ambitious and he's got these cool concepts that are just out of the box
in so many areas.
And so I feel like he deserves the Oscar. Like, it's sort of like
you're going with Richard Linklater.
Richard Linklater for the win.
And
I mean, I loved Birdman, but direction Richard Linklater as well, just for everything that he pulled together.
I think it's hard for me to say. I love Wes Anderson. I'm a huge fan, and I would love to see him get recognised, but I really think Richard Linklater has to take this one out.
Yeah.
Nominated for Best Film, we have Birdman, American Sniper, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Whiplash, The Theory of Everything, The Imitation Game, and Selma.
Well, again, there's like 4 films that I really enjoyed in this category, and it's the big one. But I mean, Grand Budapest was great, and Whiplash I thought was amazing. There was such an interesting energy, and it was so amazing for being a first film by the writer-director, and the performances were amazing. And Boyhood was like quite an incredible concept and executed amazingly. But you said Birdman had it all, and I think it was, as a film, it was the best film.
Well, I think the same thing. I think it's, well, for me, it's like either Whiplash, Boyhood, or Birdman. And I just think Birdman's been, it just sort of has that whole package thing. I think it's going to be Birdman.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, some years I looked at the nominees and they've got millions, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. But this year, you kind of look at them and you're like, pretty much all of them. Why not be nominated? They're so good. And I'm torn between Birdman and Boyhood, but I'm gonna, my guess is that it's Birdman.
Well, it's like we gave Linklater director.
We did.
We're being fair.
Birdman gets film.
You can't have them all.
We're judicious. We're very judicious.
We could be the Academy, and I think it would be...
Lego Academy Awards for everyone.
Well, next year we may indeed be.
We're around. You can choose us if you want.
Just nominated ourselves for the Academy.
The nominees for the Academy are...
Oh dear. All right, well, thanks, guys. I've loved hearing your perspectives and opinions, and we'll see everyone else next time for Filmdation. Enjoy the Oscars.